never spit on nobody.
I like you, man. You lie a lot.
That's yucky, dog.
I think this is the first time Jalen Ramsey punched somebody in the face on a football field and was mostly in the right. Now, I love Jalen Ramsey. He's my type of football player. He talks that hot shit and then suplexes your ass. He's been probably one of the better defensive backs for the better part of a decade, and he's somebody that I've been watching since his FSU days. Started at safety and moved to corner, became a top-tier physical corner in the NFL, and now he's moved to safety or star, depending on whatever you call that position, and he's been doing a really good job. It's been probably the brightest spot on this lackluster Pittsburgh defense so far. But this little situation between him and Jamar Chase showed a side that I think everybody expected from Jalen Ramsey, but I don't think many people expected Jamar Chase to spit on this man. He has officially been given a 1-game suspension. So what we're going to do today, we're going to check out some of the different angles and facts and figures. Hey, spoiler alert, you can clearly see that he spit on the dude. But then we're going to watch Jamar Chase lie in the post-game interview about not spitting on him. We're going to hear Jalen Ramsey's response to why he tried to murder Jamar Chase, which I think is pretty fair. And then if we have a little bit more time, after going over some stats and facts, we're also going to check out what Ocho and Unk had to sing about this whole situation. So let's hop right into it. So we all know what happened, right? This was a little bit of a situation. And it got a little hot and bothered, and they were going all crazy. I can't show you too much of that, but I can show you this right here. This was on the field, and you can see he is hot, boy. This doesn't seem like a regular, whatever, I'm beefing with you. Like, it's a different level. Look, Jalen Ramsey is an unreasonable person because he plays cornerback. He's a bit of a psychopath, but this is different. He had already been ejected. He had already had the situation, and he still wants to. Hey, come on, come see me. I'm serious though. No. I'm serious. Like, no. I'm not playing these games. So this response by itself, everybody should be looking at this like, yo, what the? Shout out to Mason Rudolph. What did he say to him? Well, he didn't say it. He sprayed it. Let's get a little high definition look at this. Jamar Chase, who went on, I don't want to say national television, but nah. Oh my God, that is gross. You can see it. Dog, it was an immediate reaction. I can't blame Jalen Ramsey. Hey, Jalen Ramsey's in the right. Dog, look at that. Oh my God. You telling me you don't, you need to murder him on sight if that happens? Are you serious? Are you going to spit and dribble all up my that's yucky, dog. That's yucky. That's major yuck right there. And like I said, Jalen Ramsey didn't even think about it. He didn't want to do this to Jamar. It just happened. As soon as somebody spits on me, I gotta murder you, dog. And a lot of people were saying, maybe, because look, Jamar Chase is a traditional receiver. He's a diva wide receiver. That boy, if you don't get 30 targets, he's not happy. He only got 3 targets for 30 yards and a 10 average, a 16 long. Sorry. He got 10 targets. So that was clamping his ass up. And don't let me get into the advanced analytics. If I got time, I will, to see what was going on. But he did not look like he was having a great day. And he has officially been suspended. And really, it's not a big deal. It actually is a big deal. It is a big deal to spit on somebody. But I think most people realize that, and here they are right here. This is what started it. They're getting a little chippy, but that's normal. Jamar Chase is a competitor. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Ramsey's a competitor. They're in here tight, doing what they do. So that was probably the beginnings of the end of it. And I'm not going to make y'all look at the spit again. But let's get into Jamar Chase just lying about the situation. Let's hear. Actually, we'll hear Jalen Ramsey. Too many J's, bro. Let's go here first.
He spit on me. Spit on me. So it's up. I don't about football after that. Yeah, as soon as he spit, it was. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tolerate that part of it. So, I'm sure the NFL they'll do their due diligence. They got 100 cameras out there. They can investigate. They can see everything. I just told y'all was facts.
You see me get punched?
Looks like you threw a punch.
Oh. So, just to be clear, you did not spit on him at all, right? That's what he's saying.
I ain't spit on nobody.
Where's Jamar Chase? Is Jamar Chase? He ain't from Louisiana, is it? Because if he from Louisiana, hey man, I get it. I get it, man. Jamar Chase, birthplace. Because there's something about yep, Harvey left Louisiana. So yeah. If you've never been around Louisiana, if you've never been to Louisiana, if you don't have anybody in your family from Louisiana, yeah, man, they will lie to your face. They will blatantly lie straight to your face. That's just how they get down. Now, I only know about Lafayette. That's where I grew up around, St. Martinsville, that area. But the people from Louisiana, one of the highest disrespect type level people. Now, I will say shout out to my people from Louisiana. Also probably one of the more loyal people of all time. Like, they gonna stick with you and they gonna lie to stick with you. And this time he lied so hard that the community notes on X said, dog, we all synced it, dog. We all synced the whole situation. Let's not get it twisted in any way, shape, form, or fashion. And apparently Jalen Ramsey had a response already on Monday Night Football.
Percy, what do you make of the incident?
I mean, first of all, it's absolutely disgusting. To spit on another man is the lowest form of human disrespect. And the league needs to make an example out of Jamar Chase. And now, I love Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is someone I've known since high school. That's how I also know that Jimmy didn't raise him to be this person. And I don't care about the lying after or saying that you didn't do it.
I do.
It's the fact that
I think
you
it's
did
funny.
It's the fact that in doing it, you showed Jalen Ramsey, you showed the NFL, you showed the Pittsburgh Steelers that respecting the men on this field is not something that's important to you. And so the NFL has to make an example out of Jamar Chase, one of its best players, one of its most visible players, because this is what I fear. If you don't make an example out of Jamar Chase, when does the next person get made an example out of? When does someone spit on somebody and the retaliation is to attempt to end that person's career with the level of disrespect that they were spat on? And so for me, this needs to be a hard stance by the NFL that this will not be tolerated.
Yeah, RC, usually we try to find a silver lining in these situations, but my hard stance is just like yours. And I talk to my kids all the time about you can build a lifetime of credibility, and a 30-second act can change the way people think about you. And this is one of those examples of where you get into the heat of battle, or you talk about the frustration with the Cincinnati team and not winning and losing. Nobody cares about that. And then again, I say this all the time about the NFL, and you know this, and everybody that's played. There is a specific code that lies that's unspoken of things that you don't do, right? And when you cross that line, like Jalen said, it is no longer about football. And that's why you have to be careful if you're the NFL, if you try to compromise anything about this, or if you try to fabricate a story, not fabricate, if you try to come up with a story to be lenient because it is Jamar Chase.
Yeah, you come up with any reason to not lay the hammer down in this situation, you're absolutely
And you know
wrong.
what bothers me too is that beyond that being on the field and being so publicized, these are the type of things that lead to off the field issue.
100%.
And that is where you get into this scary area of now I disrespect you as a person. We can have heated battles, we can talk noise like Jalen said, but this carries over now. And you'll never see Jalen Ramsey and Jamar Chase holding hands singing Kumbaya.
Jalen Ramsey said it's no longer about football.
Right.
It's up. And the scary part about that is you don't want it to be up outside of these lines of play.
And, if I'm not mistaken, where's Jalen Ramsey from? Okay, he's from Tennessee. I don't know many people from Tennessee. I think except for Coach from the Raw Room. Shout out Coach JB on the Raw Room. Darren Bates. I think that's the only person I know that really puts on for Tennessee heavily that I know. I do know they don't take no respect. I was about to call Jalen Ramsey a Florida boy. I know them Florida boys don't play Florida plus Louisiana. I don't know how that mixes, but I don't know how Tennessee and Louisiana, now they talk about it's up off the field. Like, I do want to speak about this. So Jalen Ramsey obviously was suspended, and this is something that I like to point out. Jamar Chase, 1-game suspension will cost him his weekly paycheck. That's $448,000 and $333, along with a $58,000 per game active bonus he will now be forfeiting. Now, I'm not sure if that's just forfeiting for the game, or maybe that's like hey, you forfeited it for the rest of your opportunities going forward. But My question, first things first, is do y'all think this is enough? Do y'all think 1 game suspension for spitting on a human? Do you think that's enough? And do you think Jalen Ramsey was justified? I'm gonna answer that for you. Yes, he was. I gotta be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, speaking about this situation again, Jalen Ramsey has a long history, dog. Like, it's okay for most people to think on first visit or first idea, and there he is smacking somebody back in his bow. What's happening? I'm all up in your grizzly, boy. You know what I'm saying? So he's known to smack people and also to get smacked around as well. Pushing over AJ Green. Hey, that's some cornerback shit, dog. This is some cornerback shit right there. And clearly he's got problems with Bengals players. That's a deep-seated history. And then, yo, I want it to be known before you see this, kids. If y'all haven't seen this before, this reminds me of the Connor Finnegan, Andre Johnson. Y'all know I'm a Texans fan. That's one of my favorite moments of football. But like, you know, cornerbacks like to push and like to look around. When wide receivers get mad, oh yeah, let's take it to the ground. I mean, he's choking them out. He's ground pounding. AJ Green, I don't think he would hurt a fly. He didn't play football at Alabama, but he's the closest thing to an Alabama type receiver, a Devontae Smith, Julio Jones, that type of guy. And he is not a diva. He don't play I said AJ Brown. AJ Green. AJ Brown is a diva. AJ Green, if y'all shout out to the legendary AJ Green, he about his business. He about catching them foosballs. That's what he do. And Jalen Ramsey, the ultimate get under your skin type player, got them both ejected, right? So I say all that to say, look, Jalen Ramsey has a long history of this stuff. But even with that long history, I don't know how you can justify spitting on another man. Ocho, Unc, what y'all got to say about it?
Yeah. Ocho, that's your guy.
That's it.
I've met him a few times. I like Chase. He's the best receiver in football.
That's you, man.
But he spit on Jalen Ramsey. And you know, and everybody knows I've been abundantly clear where I am. The most disrespectful thing you can do. Yeah, we know the N word. We know the connotations and what it summons up. But my grandpa used to always say, he said, boy, you don't spit on if you telling me I'm the ground, that is the lowest thing you can do. Ocho, he spit on that man. And he lied. And Jalen Ramsey said he spit on me. So it's up after that. F football after that point. Take it away.
I mean, Uno, y'all know how I feel about Uno. You know how I feel about Jamar. And you know I'm rarely critical of players. Very rarely. It takes a lot for me to be critical of someone, but this is one of those situations where I got to let Chase know, boy, you're dead wrong, boy. As much as I love you, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can be angry, you can be mad, you can say what you want to say to a player on the field, but you can't spit on nobody, bro. Young boy, you can't spit on nobody. Obviously, you know, cooler heads will prevail, but in those situations like that, when you're angry, I know you're frustrated, the game might not be going your way, you're not getting the ball the way you want to get the ball. You know how these division games go. Situations like this happen all the time, especially when it's Bengals, Steelers. It's just like this. It's tight. It's tight. You get angry, you get frustrated. But you just can't, you know. As much as I love you, I'm disappointed, obviously, in your actions. I'm gonna talk to you. I haven't had the chance today, you know. I didn't want to bother you, but if you look back, you think about it, you probably won't be in this situation again. Knowing the NFL and the way they discipline, they'll probably suspend you for a game, and you know it'll probably never happen again.
You know, and you know, shout out to Ocho. I love. You know, there's a lot of people who give a lot of opinions when I make videos about certain things, and I want y'all to understand I typically don't have. I'm not gonna present you a take about something if I don't have not only proof, but you know, a person who plays in the NFL that supports that, right? And I think this one don't really need much. It don't really need much, you know what I mean? But I think it's good to see that, you know, clearly an NFL player and somebody who advocates so much, like an Ocho. Ocho is always on. He's like the good cop of Unc's bad cop, right? You know, they've got this yin and yang, and Ocho is typically on that side of, hey man, it's gonna be all right, Unc, it's gonna be all right. But this one I think is pretty clear cut and dry. Y'all let me know two things. Is Jalen Ramsey justified in trying to rip Jamar Chase's heads off? On top of that, do you think the NFL has done enough for Jamar Chase? Man, I don't know what makes you spit on a man, but don't mess with them people from Louisiana. But now I'm kind of afraid for you, Jamar Chase. I don't know what this psychopath finna do. But y'all let me know how you feel down below. Like this video if you like, dislike if you don't subscribe. If you like football content of all shapes, sizes, forms, and factors, you continue to be great. We'll see you next time. Peace.